Hello everyone, welcome again to the next chapter. Now the biggest question we have is how do I get access to the Workday's REST APIs? Where is the documentation? Where is the directory listing? Where are my documentation for reference? How can I play it into a developer sandbox? To answer all those questions, I want to take you to this link. So this link is community.workday.com /rest /explorer. This is how you come to this page. So what is the primary need is that you should have access to the Workday community to be able to get here. Once you have access to the community, you will land on this page. Once you put in that URL, put in your login credentials, and you will see this REST API documentation. This page has been there. That means the REST API have been there, but they are under constant change and progress. So you can see that today it's 2020 release 1 version 34.0 when this class is being recorded. We have this page. So the first link is the REST API directory, where I want to take you. So once you click on this Workday's REST services directory, you can see that there are multiple services available. So these are the services. For example, there's accounts payable version 1, budgets version 1, business process version 1, and so on and so forth. And these business processes, these services, they have resources. For example, the most common one people are aware of or they're interested in is the worker. So the worker resource has these sub resources where they want to get a worker or post somebody's business title changes. So these are the resources and these are the methods. They all reside under a given service. For example, in this case, they're under the service called common, and V1 is just the version 1. Okay. Now, Workday, they have this thing called OpenAPI 2.0. So allowing it to do OpenAPI 2.0, you can actually take the schema. This is a Swagger schema, and you can open this up in a Swagger user interface, which allows you to open these REST APIs and try them out in a very prettified manner. Right now, if you look at it, it doesn't make much sense. How am I going to do this call? So what we can do is there's a plugin that I have. This is on Chrome. It's called a Swagger UI console. So you can use this extension in your browser. Once I hit this extension in my browser, as you can see, this loads up. And as you can see, this is Swagger. Here's a place where I can put in my URL and execute that. Okay. So I can come back here. And for example, I'm interested to see all these resources in action. So what I would do is I would actually do a right click and actually save the link as. Or I can actually download this, which will download a schema, or I can download this, copy the link address. I can copy the link address, go to the Swagger UI, put it in here, and explore. Once I hit the explore, as you can see, this is a public Workday API, and we were interested in workers. Workers is right up here, and you can see there's a show height, list operations, expand the operations, and so on and so forth. All right. For example, customers, you can see this is what you can do. Similarly, on workers, these are the multiple operations you can perform. If you are not aware of how a REST API is set up, I'll explain that to you in a second as well, probably in the next class. So you can see there's this, we are dedicated looking at workers. So on workers, we can do get calls. Get is always trying to get the data, and post is where you're actually putting the data. Okay, you're posting the data into the Workday tenant. For example, you want to post the business title changes. You want to post the worker's job changes. You want to do the get worker. So as you can see, these are not all the operations that you would perform using the web service API, but they complement what the Workday's web services already do. So it's an extension, not a replacement of the web services, but an extension. Okay. So for example, I would love to see how do I get the workers using Workday's REST APIs. All you got to do is hit on this get, and it's going to show you some interesting information. If you are aware of how Swagger user interface works, pretty cool. If not, this is a great way to learn that too. So as you can see, there is a response class, there's an example value, there's a response content type, application, there's a response message, and so on and so forth. And you can actually try it out right here in this interface. So you can try this call, which is going to do the get workers from the workday tenant. Okay, so if you try it out, see what happens. What you get back is, and see, this is the curl call, and you can mimic this call in any other application, whether it's SOAP UI or Postman. Postman is my weapon of choice. I mean, I'm going to show you Postman in the next subsequent classes, but Postman is where we will be testing our Workday API calls. So you would notice one thing, that we went to Swagger. In Swagger, we put this link and it showed us these REST API calls, but we did not authenticate anything. So there is this thing called authorized, which it is not authorized as of now, and that is why you see this error that says no content, no response from server, because you have not set anything in your tenant hostname. There is no authentication which is going on. So what is your request URL? Your request URL is https:// tenant hostname / API v1 / workers. Okay, so we are doing a get call on the workers to get the data, but this did not work here. In the next session, I'm going to show you how to get it to work. See you in the next class.